As you saw through the presentation, there's a lot of the career trajectory, but as personal preachers' kids, there's also plenty of trauma, plenty of memories built into that as well. So we thought it might be best to think about ways Mom inspired us and kind of what we drew out of our life experience being with Mom and with Dad and basically living in the whole preacher lifestyle. So I'll go first. Katie will go second. Katie actually wrote something. I was busy doing the PowerPoint, so I didn't write anything. But for me, the thing that I have most taken away is, and something Mom's instilled in me, is through servitude. So that being, Mom has tried to retire a bunch of times, but you never actually have retired because you're always pinch hitting for some church or filling in somewhere. Even when, like at the end of Columbus Avenue, that was the end of the career path at that point, at least in terms of official ordination and serving. But then you ended up back at Edison Memorial, and you've done tons of pinch hitting at Presbyterian Church and stuff beyond that. So you have always felt that calling to service even after you have met your service needs and ask, as it were, but also in serving your fellow clergy as well. So it's not just about serving the congregation, but also helping serve with Pastor Doug, other pastors around town. I'll be talking to Mom on the phone, and she'll talk about, usually it's trying to figure out when we're going to see each other next, or she's going to actually come down to Columbus. But truth be told, you never have actually come down to Columbus because you're so busy preaching still. So
I was there for the 4th of July.
Yes, yeah, we finally got you down. So in that same way, that's something I've really indoctrinated in my life. I feel a calling to public service now in my current work and also just personal way of life. So that's something that you've instilled in me. And now I'll hand it off to Katie to talk about her thing that she more eloquently wrote out.
Well, he's such a better ad-libber than I am. I wrote a little something, but my mom always describes the time that I am home as Katie brings the party, but I think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree given what I'm seeing here today. But as I'm in the age group of which many of my friends begin to get engaged, married, so on, one friend from high school, Stacy Grathwall, maiden name now, she Facebook messaged me, and this is a few years into college. And shortly after she got engaged, she was seeking my mom's contact information. And once my mom reached out to Stacy, they met and they began discussing the wedding planning and the logistics. My mom recounted the story of her asking Stacy, "Hey, I'm honored to be included on your big day, but why me?" And Stacy responded, "As soon as I got engaged, I immediately thought, we need Barb." It was like frantic. And just can't imagine anyone else facilitating the ceremony. Although this is one of many weddings that you've facilitated over the years, I feel like this story represents that it quality that makes my mom not only a strong minister to her many church families, but also mentor to many of our friends. Over the years, I've eavesdropped as my mom answered late night or frantic phone calls from church members with understanding and empathy. On many early Sunday mornings, I've woken up to her passionately and enthusiastically rehearsing the delivery of her sermon as I struggled out of bed. We all know. As I arrived home from school, it was common to greet my mom in the living room with her pot of tea and some orange cat over the years. And she was reading the most recent theological news to stay updated on cutting-edge research in her field. And that was on her day off. When I checked our family calendar, I noticed how quickly it filled with baptisms, weddings, funerals, holiday festivities, right next to the piano recitals, basketball games, Boy Scout events, and band concerts. Since her pseudo-retirement, I think the only thing that has changed about my mom is the number of phone calls and messages that you receive. After 40 years, I still wake up to my mom rehearsing sermons with the same vigor I recall as a little girl. After 40 years, my mom continues to be the best listener I know when it comes to life crisis, frustrations at work, or even problems on the basketball team. When friends visit our house, it's considered normal and customary to talk to my mom for a minimum of an hour, to catch up on life, ask for advice, or just problem solve an issue. And finally, after 40 years, friends and family continue to look to my mom to serve as a loyal friend, a joyful minister, and a faithful mentor. So thank you, Mom.
Well said.